I was always the girl that was like kind of nerdy. Do they like keep the nerdy girls around and then eventually hope they get
Lauren,
hot?
I really don't. I think you're making this way too complicated when it comes to male attraction. In the beginning, it's just hot.
But even if they're nice.
And this podcast called Modern Wisdom from Chris Williamson. He calls it the high heels effect, and that is the majority of women will not date a man shorter than them. Distinct of what they say, that dating apps show that majority of women will not date a guy shorter than them. Economically, women are getting taller every year, and men are getting shorter. When you hear people all the time say, I know all these wonderful, attractive, high character women and they can't find a man. They can find a man. They just can't find a man they want to mate with because men aren't doing well. And as a result, there's a mismatch in attraction. And that is the pool of viable mates of horizontal and up for women who are doing well is shrinking because a woman who's a partner at a law firm isn't interested in dating a guy who's a high school dropout and is a mechanic and maybe making $60,000 a year and she's making $600,000 a year. Whereas if a guy's making $600,000 a year and a woman in PR is making $60,000 a year and she's attractive, those are considered viable mates.
I disagree with that. I think the guy's got to make more money than the chick. She's
Why
got.
are you guys
in fact,
shrinking?
statistically
I would
speaking,
give a
he's got to make
blowjob
at
to
least
one of your
60.
texts
He's got to
right
be.
now.
He's got to make at least half again what that woman is making to be a viable mate.
So let me fix what I said before. He's a clinical professor of marketing at NYU. So he does deal a lot with economics. The reason why I brought that up is because he's a liberal, he's a Democrat, but he said women horizontal and up. Did you hear that part about that? That means a man on that side of the aisle is admitting that hypergamy is real. And this is a debate that we still have with people, this concept of hypergamy. It is real. Well, Rihanna was worth $400 million dating a billionaire. Like women, when they're rich, they want men who are even more rich than they are, right? Does that make sense? If you guys had $1 billion, you want someone, how about you, Daisy? If you make a lot of money, you want someone who makes even more money than you. Daisy, could someone make as much money as you, or do they need to make more money than you?
I think they need to make more money.
Need to make more money?
Yeah. If you ask my honest opinion, that's what I'm going to say. But sometimes I do find other people attractive, not because
of their
how
mind.
Successful. Yes.
Because of their mind.
Exactly. They might get there later because sometimes I do date younger guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I find younger guys attractive, but they're not there yet. But they're smart. They're going to get there later.
They're to train when they're younger.
You're training them.
I'm not going to train them because like I do not put my energy on other people.
Well, I want to point something out here. Okay, wait, Sean, how tall are you?
6'6".
And Mystery, how tall are you? 6'5". Yeah. And how tall are you?
I am
Despite popular opinion.
6 foot and 1/2 inch.
6 foot and 1/2 inch. Okay. Would you guys say you're getting married very soon? Would you say that your height has been at least somewhat of an advantage for you with attraction to women?
I mean, there'll always be outliers with height, but I think in general, tall guys have it easier.
I think have it difficult dating shorter girls because they say you're too tall, right? Ooh, you're too tall.
Does it become a disadvantage?
In which case I say, what?
At a certain height.
I said you're too tall.
I can hear you.
I get that. Like too charismatic. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like you're
So
too
do you
charismatic.
guys, when you guys are choosing
You're
like
too
a
humble.
part,
Go
if
ahead.
you're finding a girlfriend or just like with the women you guys have dated, do you actually look for women in a specific height range?
Absolutely
Not me.
Couldn't
No.
care less.
Yeah.
Care less.
Right?
Same with
care if
economic
she's
status.
broke.
I could
I
care
look for
less.
women in,
Hold on.
I look for women in a certain
Tower,
hotness
baby.
range.
By the way, several of you, those of you who've been on the show before, you guys met my ex-girlfriend. We're still friends. We talk all the time. She has a thriving, successful career as a barber. She lives in Houston. When I met her, she was broke as a joke. I didn't give a like it made no difference to me how tall she was. She was a Razorbacks fan. I didn't care how much she went to college. All I know is that when I was with her, I was happy. That was it. There was nothing else that mattered. And so as a man, we don't care if you work at McDonald's, and we don't care if you're 5'2". We don't. If we're really into you, it doesn't matter.
Question.
There are some red flags, though.
No, there's definitely red
Well,
flags.
question for you,
Well, I've
Michael.
heard red flags here all night.
Would you say that it's more important for a guy to look at himself in whatever relationships he's in, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, and be like, do I like the type of person that I am with this person or around this person? Do I like how I feel? Like, would you say that that's like really important?
Yes.
She needs to be really hot first.
Really hot. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, I'm
really
just
hot.
speaking-
But
But
wait,
how-
could she
it's
be
how I
like?
feel.
Let me explain to you.
Okay.
Lauren, I'm turning 48.
Yeah.
So my give a is it's at zero now. I
Okay.
don't care what anyone thinks about me. I've never made so much money in my life. When I stopped caring, when I don't care about what other people
Good
think
for
about
you.
me, other people become obsessed with me.
Yeah.
So I don't care. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. Men like hot women. They like them when they're physically attractive. They like when they are like, hey, I want to go have sex, and I see my girl, and she's very physically attractive. And you know what else men will like?
Yeah.
Is when that girl is physically attracted to you and wants you sexually, even if you don't have money. That's genuine desire. Like what Rolo says, crawl over broken glass and change your religion for me. That's what we want.
Correct.
That's actually what we want. And the other parts, like, we will deal with some fucking crazy.
I have a question.
Gentlemen, all the guys in the room, you put your fucking crazy. Raise your hand.
I have a question for you,
Rolo,
Michael. Wait.
As often as I could.
Eric, put your hand up. Eric, put your hand up. You put your crazy. Bro. Can somebody give me a cap? I need a
Tristan,
cap.
go, come on.
I need a cap. Yes, there we go.
Yes.
I was always the girl that was like kind of nerdy. Do they like keep the nerdy girls around and then eventually hope they get
Lauren,
hot
I
or
really
help?
don't. I think you're making this way too complicated when they come to male.
Okay.
In the beginning, it's just hot.
But even if they're nice.
That opens hot opens the door.
Yes.
So this isn't a genuine question.
Hold on. Like later on, do you help me build my career? Like later, we're talking down the line. Do you help me build my career? Do you attack me? Do you accuse me? Do you exaggerate?
No.
Do you tell me how I feel instead of asking me how I feel? Is my life easier and more beneficial with you in it? Yes.
Okay.
But first, she has to be hot. That's it. Don't make this complicated.